Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, today I want to talk about the funnel that we create for our clients, that full funnel client acquisition system that turns clicks into bookings with high ticket Medspa clients. Okay, so like I said before in my last video, this is going to be more candid. It's going to be more of like a discussion. It's going to be a little bit more raw. You can probably hear my kids in the background. They're literally in the room next to me. With my babysitter, I swear they're not alone. But I want to talk a little bit about this funnel because this is the ads funnel that we developed, I want to say around 5 years ago, right when I started running ads for med spas, and or maybe it was like 4 years ago. But this is the funnel that has taken our clients from like a trickle of leads here and there to fully booked 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes 2 months in advance. And it's all built on trust. Now, if you own a med spa, you already know this. No one is going to be dropping $1,000 on injectables, body contouring, laser packages for the first time they see your ad. Now, it's possible that you have these impulse buyers that are going to book right away because they know they have a problem. But there's a couple differences in your clientele, right? Some clients know they have a problem, know that they don't like the way they look, know that they are seeing wrinkles in the mirror. They already are familiar with the fact that they have a problem and they are actively seeking a solution, okay? And your ad pops up because the algorithm knows so much about us and knows that that's something that they are seeking, is that solution, okay? But there are also clients, right, who maybe need a little bit more massaging, right? And I like to call these people you got your impulse shoppers, right? The people that are buying right away. And you've got your people who have like a little bit of analysis paralysis, and they're going to think about it before they book, before they book that consult, before they book that deal, right? So just to give you an example, like my sister is total analysis paralysis. She thinks through every decision before she does it. Like even the most basic things, whether it's a high ticket program or a literal, box of snacks at the grocery store, she's going to think it through. It's probably why she's a dietitian and I'm in marketing. Whereas I'm an impulse buyer. Okay. I buy things. I know I have a problem. I'm going to buy it right away, right? Like I don't think about it for months or weeks at a time. I'm going to solve it right away. I'm not a procrastinator by any means. And she tends to be a little bit more of a procrastinator. Okay. So typically your clientele is going to fall into one of those two categories. So basically, one second. What you need to know is those patients that are not the impulse buyers, and there tends to be less impulse buyers when it comes to high ticket decisions, right? So even though I am an impulse buyer, when it comes to higher ticket decisions, like if I'm spending $1,000 or more, I'm going to think that one through a little bit longer than I would if I'm just buying something for $20 on Amazon or something like that, right? Higher ticket patients have to be nurtured. And you might see ads in your feed that are like, nurturing is out, we're not nurturing anymore. That's just not true when it comes to higher ticket patients, okay? They have to trust you with often the most vulnerable parts of their body, right? Their face, their body, their money. So in this video, I want to break down the exact strategy and process we use for our med spa clients to turn scrollers and strangers into booked out schedules for you, okay? Now, this is an 80-day nurture process. That doesn't mean that it takes 80 days to get booked out, okay? And that doesn't mean you always have to do 80 days, right? This is just like the max that we can do to build that trust and get those bookings in. That means that we can nurture for 80 days. We can nurture for 30 days, right? It just depends on the foundation you've already laid, right? If you have a lot of followers, if you have a lot of bookings, if you have proven offers that your clientele love, if you have a good like base of clients, but you're looking to scale, okay? You might need a shorter nurture sequence. If you are newer in the area, if you have a lot of competition, if you want to establish more of that trust in your area, you might need a longer nurture sequence, okay? So it doesn't mean you need all 80 days, right? And it doesn't mean your client's gonna take 80 days to book, okay? You might have some impulse buyers that book after 30 days, after 20 days, right? They've seen you a couple times in their feed, but you also might have these people who have that analysis paralysis and it takes them a little bit longer. It might take them 50 days, 60 days, 70 days, right? To make the decision. but I just want to break it down and show you like our full funnel and how it all works. Okay. So obviously at the top of the funnel, you've got the awareness, the attraction. You've got the cold audience. This is where your future patient sees you for the very first time. Okay. And this is, again, we're hitting cold audiences here. That doesn't mean we can't send this to warm audiences as well. But typically for this funnel, we're going to be hitting cold audiences at this top of funnel. Okay. So they're not ready to book, but they might stop and scroll because your ad speaks to them, right? It captures their attention. It calls them out. Okay. And what I like to do at this stage is call out the city. So for us, it'd be like, hey, Binghamton area ladies or something like that. What's worked really well for one of our clients that, again, like once they hired us, within 2 weeks, she was booked out 1 month. Basically, we said, hey, Tampa wellness seekers, and she does medical weight loss. Okay, so these are people who are actively seeking ways to be well, right? To lose weight. Again, at this stage, our ads are focusing on attention grabbing content. Okay, so that's going to be that first 3 seconds. We want to zoom in. We want to add captions right away. If we have things like flying on the screen, you should have multiple different ways to pull them in that hook, right? So as they are scrolling, movement is big, noise, like adding some sort of like noise, and then also having captions on the screen. Okay. So that's to get them to focus, right? And it's to get them curious enough to watch for 25 to 50% of that video or to follow you, okay? Because then they're in your warm audience group, okay? Then in that middle of the funnel, what we're trying to establish essentially is build a connection, build authority, and identify their problems, right? So once they know you exist, we have to answer the other questions, right? Do I like you? That's connection, right? Show your personality. Let them meet your injectors, your estheticians, your front desk team. Give them that feeling of like, we are your people and we can't wait to meet you, right? So do I like you? And you can even do that through like relatable and funny reels. So if you already have content on your page that's like funny and relatable, that would be a great way to figure out or to put in the sequence so that they can figure out if they like you, right? So the questions are, do they like you? Do they trust you? And that's the authority piece. You should share some credentials, share what you're specializing in, share patient results. What are your years of experience? How many clients do you have, right? Any education that you're currently doing. If you're speaking on stages, something like that, right? So you have to establish trust, and a great way to do that is through ads. Because yes, your organic can do that and it will do that, but it's a slower burn. And if you've been doing organic for a while and you want to scale, ads are a great way to do this, okay? Finally, so do I like you? Do I trust you? Do you understand what I'm going through? Do you understand what I'm struggling through? My pain points, okay? This is that problem identification. So this is talking to people who might not know they have a problem yet, right? So talk to their pain points. Do they have fine lines randomly showing up overnight? Do they have, are they having issues with like losing that last 10 pounds? Do they have spots on their face like sun damage, things like that, right? Speak to those pain points in both your organic content, and you can do that also in your paid content, but you have to be careful, right? You have to play by Facebook's rules, and the way that you state these things need to be, you need to do them in a tasteful way that it keeps things positive, right? So you can't just go right on there, and I could do a whole video on this, but go right on there and be like, do you have 20 pounds of stubborn fat that you're trying to lose? That's going to get flagged likely. You probably will see ads like that on your feed because people do just go against policy, but their ads likely will get rejected or their account will get shut down. So you should play by Facebook's rules. And this is the thing, a lot of people get worried about ads because they're like, well, what if my account gets shut down? What if ads get rejected? You just got to play by the rules. It's very simple. And this is why you hire a team like us who know the rules, especially in this med spa niche, because there are very specific rules in this industry. Okay. Finally, we want to talk about value and education. That's that like middle of the sequence, right? We're switching gears from we get you to here's how we can help you. Okay. And this is kind of where we're like teaching without being too salesy. And this is going to be like a quick video breakdown showing the difference between one of your services versus your other service and what outcomes they're going to see. You can even talk about, again, this kind of like is value, education, authority, but like talking about the different devices that you use, your different modalities, your different specialties, what each of your team, what your team specializes in. You could even do like some myth busting or, basically any way that you're providing value. And value doesn't have to be like boring or doesn't have to be just like free stuff, right? Value can be like, how are you adding value to their life? How are you making them laugh, right? How are you helping them learn? How are you helping them understand what's going through their body right now, right? So basically, you're trying to help them understand how your treatments work, why they're effective, but also help them understand why, again, that you're the team for them, because you want to differentiate between you as the go-to med spa in your area versus any of your competitors. Because as we all know, there are med spas popping up all over your city, I'm sure, because this is like the fastest growing niche right now. Okay. Finally, you've got your solution and your risk reversal. Okay. This is where we're going to spotlight your offers. Okay. So it could be a membership, a package, a seasonal promo, but we're not going to pitch it. We're just going to show them what it is. Right. And this is also where we're going to kind of address those common questions like, does it hurt? Is it safe? What if it looks fake? What if I don't see results right away? How long does it take to get results? This is really where we're going to leverage that user-generated content. So if you have clients that come in that are like, hey, come with me to get my monthly Botox or my Botox every 8 weeks or whatever it is, this is where you can use that content really well. This is also where if you have patient-facing testimonials, right, where patients are like talking about their experience with you, this is a great way to include them in this sequence, okay? This is also a great way to do transformations. So I'm not saying before and afters, again, those will get rejected, but if you have before and after videos, there's a really tasteful way to include that as well. You can also take them through like your treatment process, their real life treatment videos of like what you're doing today, what patients you're working on. Basically, you want to remove every reason that they should hesitate to make a decision with you, okay? And then finally, in that step 5, the decision, the purchase, right, at the end, you're gonna target actually cold and warm here because, again, we wanna capture people who are those impulse buyers who might just have a lot of disposable income and might just want to purchase right away, but also you still want to target those people who are being nurtured, right? So at this point, they're likely ready, right? They're more ready. They see you constantly. I've had with our clients currently, like our ads are so visible to their clientele that often they will get texts like, oh my gosh, you're a local celeb. I see you everywhere. I can't wait to book with you. Like for example, my client who was at the grocery store the other day said that this woman walked up to her and she was like, oh my gosh, I saw you on my Facebook. I see you everywhere. I am booking an appointment this week. I want to come in for medical weight loss, right? So often these ads, because people see them so often, like every time they open their app, they're going to get targeted with them, especially if they're in this funnel, that it makes the decision so much easier because they already trust them before they've even walked through the doors, okay? So this is also where urgency matters because a lot of times clients will get these texts or these DMs that are like, how much does this cost, right? Is the consultation free? And then they'll kind of ghost, right? So we need to make sure that there's urgency here for them to book, right? So things like limited spots only. Your consultation fee will go towards your services, right? So I have clients who do that, right? They have like a $50 consultation fee, but if they do choose to like go forward with a service, that gets put into their service, right? Or even if like maybe you're increasing your prices, right? Price increases coming soon. Basically, this is where those booked appointments are starting to roll in. And that's only because we've spent the last 30 days, 40 days, 50 days building trust first. It's not based on flash sales. It's not based on gimmicks. It's not based on fake urgency because that's like totally out of integrity. It's based on trust, right? It's based on trust that we have built already through this process. And yes, you can do this organically, but it takes so much longer. Like instead of 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, you're talking years of trust building because you can't guarantee that organic is going to get in front of someone multiple times. Okay. So if you're running ads for your med spa and people are clicking, but not booking, or they're messaging you and they're like, hey, how much does this cost? I'm thinking about it. I got to talk to my husband. Or, is the consultation free? Where are you located, right? It's probably not the services or the content you're posting. It's probably has to do with your nurture process and you're just not hitting them enough, okay? Like I said at the beginning, higher ticket services, higher ticket patients, like what it is you're marketing, need time, they need proof, and they need trust before they're going to commit to something like this. And they need to know that the problems that they have, you're going to solve and that the risk is low, right? So that's the thing, is like if it's a higher ticket service, they need to feel like the risk is low and that you're going to provide them the transformation that they are looking for. So basically, if you want us to set up this exact funnel in your med spa, so you can basically go from like a trickle of leads from your social media or even like gaps in your calendar, right? Because if you've got cancellations, we're in August right now and August tends to be a slower month, to a booked out calendar. So we're talking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks booked out. Like I said, one of my clients opened her new practice in the fall and she wanted to go full force with this ad strategy because she knew it worked, because we've worked together for the last 5 years and she's been getting consistent results for the last 5 years. She opened her practice. She went from 0 inquiries a week to 80 inquiries a week, and she was closing 75% of them, which means she was booking 60 patients every week because of this ad strategy. That's the power of it. So if you want to learn more, leave me a comment below. I am going to do a video on like what to do if a client ghosts you, or clients ghost you in the DMs. I am going to do a video on like policies when it comes to Facebook and Instagram ads. But basically, I want you to understand that this strategy is so critical to having success with your ads, and hiring an agency just based on the number of leads that they can get you is not the way to go, because they could bring you leads all day long. Sure, low quality leads, but they're probably either going to be based on a flash sale. So they're going to be one and done clients that you'll never see again, those price shoppers, or as I like to call them, discount Danielles. Or you'll get all these leads and all these people are going to ghost you because you haven't laid the groundwork of building that trust, of building connection, building authority, of identifying their problems, of educating them, of providing a solution, of lowering that risk before they go and make a big purchase and become a loyal client, right? So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you want more content like this. I'm going to do a couple case studies soon on how our clients' ads perform, and give you guys some like real life examples of how this funnel works. So like I said, let me know if this was helpful, and I'll see you guys soon.